Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Jab here. Today we're going to be doing a little bit different of a video. I'm going to be showing you guys a tutorial, a full tutorial for Phase 4 for versions 2.12 through 2.17.2. So without further ado, we're going to jump into it here. Okay, so now that we've loaded in, you're going to get a shitload of pop-ups on your screen for all those versions, and for the newer versions, 2.17.2, you're going to get some lore pop-ups as well on your screen about the sword shade of Ying and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about that in this video. That's something you can read up on your own when it pops up. You can interact with the community and people can talk about it, but this video is going to be strictly for gameplay tutorial. So all these other pop-ups that are going to appear on your screen, I'm going to quickly go over the ones that are actually going to be important. This can apply to all of the phases, but for phase 4 specifically, that's what this video is about. So there's 3 pop-ups here. They'll come up as Good's name when you open up the game for the first time with this mod. So the blue palico is a practice item. So when you go into the actual arena, you can get whacked around as much as possible. It's not like an invisible god mode. It's essentially just an unlimited health item, so that when you get hit, if you miss a parry, if you get flown into the air, you won't die, you won't lose health, you'll just keep getting whacked around. That's basically the sum up of the practice item. Some other mods have the same thing, but they use the Ungo's Spirit Fall. Next up is this red palico is just standard Yasha. So you'll notice that you're red, your sword is glowing red and purple, which is something I still love about this. And essentially this is Yasha. So you use this when you're ready to go for the no-hit, when you're confident, you want to try and no-hit one of the phases, or this is going for the full fight. This is just a standard Yasha that you'll use instead of the practice item. Okay, and this is the Ishin item. So the Ishin item, essentially you're going to see my health is going to deplete here. This is a stronger Yasha, so your health will deplete, but you will do more posture damage to Ishin. Different versions have different percentages of how strong it is, but this is only available after 2.14. Or I should say 2.14 and on the Ishin item comes into play. It's a lot stronger in the newer versions than it was in 2.14 and 2.15, but it is essentially a Yasha buff and your health will go down. So it forces you to be more aggressive. So those are the 3 items that you're going to need when starting. Obviously when you start you want to use the practice item. Right before we get into P4 as well, I'm going to quickly highlight over the arenas because these are also questioned a lot because there's like Good's names and there's Inner Ishin. These are 3-phase fights. You don't really have to mess with these. They're kind of just for fun. I've only touched on this one myself. I'm not even really sure what it differs. They're just some different moves, but these only have 3 phases. They're not the official fight. These 3 are the actual fights aside from the bottom one. This is an attack power 1 Ishin. So you never want to do this one unless you absolutely fucking hate your life, I guess. But these 2 are the arenas. So this is the standard yellow flower field that you see in a lot of Ying videos, especially the older versions. This is the classic OG arena, and then this is going to show you a cloud arena, but this is actually the new water arena that came in the 2.15 version. So the second last Good's name will be the water arena in versions 2.15 and so on, but if you click on this Good's name in any version before 2.15, it will be this cloud arena, which personally, I think it looks cool, but it has a lot of weird bugs and invisible walls. So I wouldn't mess with that. I would stick with the OG one for anything before 2.15. But again, it's your preference, but that's a difference. Let's actually get into some of the tutorial stuff here. So first, I'm going to display what P4 will look like. I'm going to start with 2.17.2 because this version is the newest, and this is what most people are going to be playing to start. So let's see what P4 looks like in the beginning. Alright, so right at the start of P4 here, you're going to want to parry. You're going to see this explosion. For this arena, run as far away as possible. You won't die. Just run away as far as possible, and you're going to spawn into the JCE. Now the other arena, the water arena here, you're not going to get teleported. You do have to run away a little bit. Where I stood is about a mediocre distance, so you have enough time to run up. Dodge to the side, dodge backwards, whichever you prefer. As a quick side note, versions before 2.17 do not have the explosion. 2.17 and onward is where the explosion comes into play, and that text comes into play. Anything before that, there is no explosion, so you'll have to just dodge a JCE like normal after the parry that begins phase 4, which I'll show you right now. So this is the old JCE, and this is also where you'll just have to parry, there's no explosion, and then you dodge like so, and begin the fight. Now to start off with this air combo you're seeing me do right here. Let's explain.